do see a doctor once a year or once every 2 years. I have to have medicals for things like this and TV shows, and I go private, right? It's 600 quid. It's 3 hours long, but they do everything. Blood sample, stool sample, urine sample, ECG, ear, nose, throat, bollocks, the finger, everything, right? And you have to fill out this big form, right, lifestyle thing. That takes fucking ages, right? And I tell the truth on everything, except units of alcohol. I work those out, then I halve them, right? And when he gets to those, he still goes, oh, that's an awful lot, right? And I think I've won. I go, is it? At the end of the 3 hours, they've got all the results back from the lab, right? And he's got this big computer, it's like a body composition, right? And from there, they work out your percentage chance of a stroke, heart attack in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. And mine's always about the same. It always gets worse with age, nothing you do about that. But I'm always like, I'm at the end of healthy weight. I'm just nearly obese. I'm just right, like that. I was pre-diabetic once, I had to sort that out. And now I'm pre-gout. Right? Pre-gout, right? And so he tells you all that, and then he goes, so what are we going to do about this? And I want to go, what do you mean, we? I've just paid you 600 quid, mate, right? You're going to fix it, and I'm going to carry on, right? You don't take a car to the garage, and he goes, oh, tyres are bald, the big end's gone. What are we going to do? You're going to fix it, mate, and I'm going to pay you. He went once and said, you need more fibre in your diet. I went to go, get me wine with fibre in it then. You know what I mean? I can afford anything. You must be able to invent that. Just no. He said, you're heavily constipated. I wanted to go, get in there with a spoon, son. And then they always leave it right to the end. They don't even look up. They go, and can I give you a rectal exam? Which means I have to go, yes, please. I want to surprise me on the way out. Do you know what I mean? Bye. Oh, and that's fine. Thank you. Right? But there's a big build-up, right? And as they're washing their hands, they've got to say, would you like a chaperone? No. So you're going to have your finger up my arse, and now you've got a mate watching? No, just do it. And they lay you on this bench, right, on your back to start with, like pants and trousers around your ankle, knees apart like a little frog, right? And they do the balls first, right? And I'm nervous at a doctor, I'm really nervous, so I've got no balls, right? He has to dig them out like a tortoise's head, you know what I mean? It's just like a little fist of fear down there, right? And I fucking hate it. I go, like that, right? It's horrible, right? And then when they turn you on the side and lube you up, go the finger up the arse, that's great, you know, not great, that's not why I go, but it's... me again, you were here yesterday, come on. But this one time, it was an old man, and it was still a doctor, not just an old man. Doctor said he couldn't make it, so I thought I'd have a go, right? There was a sort of like old school GP, he was about 75, little shirt and tie, tweed jacket, right? And he was sitting on an armchair, right? And he didn't put me on the bench, I was just standing up. And he went, oh, just pop your pants and trousers down, right? So he was a little lad, so he was like head height to my balls, right? And as I say, I'm nervous, doctor, so I jabber, I talk. I think if I put them off, they won't find the cancer. You know what I mean? Right? And so he started doing the balls, and I just went, oh, what are you looking for there exactly, right? And they usually go, shh, and they come, and he didn't, he went, oh, that's a good question. And he sat back, and he started telling me all about cancer, right? So now I'm just having a chat, right? And he went on for ages, he was loving it, right? And I remember it felt rude to do that. So I was going, all right. I do work out a bit. I actually joined a gym. Literally on my road, I discovered. I've got a gym in my house, I got bored with that. But I thought, if I join a gym, if I pay in advance, like pay a year in advance, right, then I'll try and get value for money and that'll make me go. Then I remembered, oh, I'm fucking rich. You know what I mean? I could join a different gym every day for a laugh. Just go along and go, there's £2,000. They go, see you tomorrow. I go, you'll never see me again. I go about once a month and I sort of do 10 minutes on the machines and I sort of run home like that, right? I don't use the changing rooms there. I've got a thing about changing rooms, public changing rooms. I always have I know. I'll tell you why. I don't know if it's the same in ladies' changing rooms, but men are so proud of their offal, right? If I'm in a public place, I have a shower, right? 1 minute, towel, corner, pants on, right? There's blokes walking around naked before the shower, talking to each other, after the shower. There was one bloke in the shower way too long, right? It took ages, right? And he got out, no towel, just dripping wet, just went up to the mirror and started doing his hair first. I was in there there was just me and this really fat bloke once in the change room. I was getting changed, and he was there, and he was really big, like 350 pounds, right? And he was naked on one of those precision scales. And he was there for fucking ages. And I was looking at him, he was like that for ages. I wanted to run over and go, mate, you're never going to be an astronaut, right? It doesn't need to be this accurate. Just pop some pants on and take a fucking gram off. And I'm not having a go at fat people. I say, I'm fat, I'm overweight. Do you know why? Because I eat and drink too much. That's what does it. I don't judge fat people, I just know how they got fat. If I see a fat person, I go, well done. You know, you've eaten way more than you'll ever need, same as me, right? If I see a fat couple, I go, yeah, that works, right? But then as they're walking along, right, and you see their little fat toddlers, and you go, that's not fair, right? And the mother always goes, they love cake. Of course they love cake. They're baby mammals. We're the same species as we were like 200,000 years ago. We've got a hunter-gatherer brain, right? All this affluence is so much faster than our human biology. So when you get one of those cakes from the supermarket that's packed with fats and sugar, your brain goes, fucking hell, that's amazing. Keep eating that, there might not be food tomorrow. But there will be food tomorrow. The fridge is full and your mum's on the phone to Ocado. You know what I mean? Now there's even a stigma, like doctors get in trouble for saying to someone you're overweight or obese. They go, no, that's a political thing. No, it's like fat shaming. It's not fat. You don't get cancer shaming. He's trying to save your life, right? There was a school that tried to ban the word obese because they said it was derogatory to, I don't know what to call them, round children, right? But that's the polite word. That's the word we invented, so we didn't say fat little fucker. Don't keep changing words because one person gets offended. Also, fat people aren't offended by the word obese. They did it all. They're happy with it. They're jolly, aren't they? They're jolly. You see a fat person go, all right, fatty. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Yeah. And they go to the doctor. Come in. Doctor goes, fuck me. Oh. Am I obese? No, you're morbidly obese. What does that mean? Means you're going to die of it. Oh, does it? All right. What, straight away or? No. You've got diabetes, so you'll have your legs amputated soon. And then if you carry on, you'll die later of like stroke and respiratory heart failure. So, all right. Is there anything I can do? Oh, yeah, of course there is. You could start working out and eat healthy, you'll be right as rain. Oh, right. But you won't, will you? No. And I feel sorry for them, even though it's their fault. When you see one of those documentaries on telly, like the 600-pound man or something, and he's being winched out of his house to go to hospital, right? If you're dangling from a crane, right? And you see a film crew, right? You know you fucked it. And then, you know, as I say, then they wake up the next day and they've had their legs amputated. It's really sad, and they're crying and I'm crying. They're going, oh God, why did I let it go this far? I'm so stupid. Then they get philosophical about it and they go, I never really used the legs. Well, then it's lunchtime, and so, you know, and they go to the nurse, you didn't throw them legs away, did you? Guys, do you ever act more working class around builders? I do. I can be walking around Leafy Hampstead, right? Book of poems, right? Scarf. right? Just humming Brahms, right? And if some scaffolders go, Ricky, I go, all right, you can't say doing, boys. Like that. And I don't know why I try and impress them. I've always been fascinated with human behaviour, right? But as I said at the beginning, we're the only species that allows the universe to understand itself. But we see all nature through our eyes. So it all comes back to us. Why are we here? What makes us? Is it our genetics or the environment? The old nature versus nurture argument. The psychologist Piaget was once asked, what's more important for the intellect of a person, nature or nurture? And he famously replied, what's more important for the area of a field, length or width? All right, mate, if you don't know the answer, just fucking... But psychology, psychiatry, neuroscience, it's still in its infancy. And we still know so little about the brain. And 150 years ago, we knew nothing. It was all guesswork, right? And everything was just mental. If you weren't a white, sort of heterosexual, married Christian man, right? If you deviated too far, you were mental. They just went mental, like homosexuality, mental illness, you were put in an asylum for life, or worse, tortured. Women who fell pregnant out of wedlock, mental, asylum for life, right? And now we understand things more, we're more tolerant, I think it's going too far the other way, though, because now nothing's mental. You can't find somewhere that nothing is considered mental. Everything is a syndrome or an addiction or a preference, right? I could have my legs removed, have wheels put on, identify as a pram, right? And if you sound mental, you're a bigot, right? Now, that's a bit hack, that joke now, isn't it? Oh, I identify as a thing then, right? It's a bit old-fashioned, right? But I'm going to leave it in to annoy people, right? Because that's the bit that'll offend people. Same as humanity. I talk about AIDS, famine, cancer, the Holocaust, rape, paedophilia. But no, the one thing you mustn't joke about is identity politics. The one thing you should never joke about is the trans issue, right? They just want to be treated equally. I agree. That's why I include them. You know? But they know I'm joking about all the other stuff, but they go, no, he must mean that, right? Like a joke is a window to the comedian's true soul. That's just not the case. I'll take on any view to make the joke funniest. I'll pretend to be right-wing. I'll pretend to be left-wing. I'll pretend to be clever. I'll pretend to be stupid. Whatever makes the joke funnier without prejudice. Okay, full disclosure, in real life, of course I support trans rights. I support all human rights, and trans rights are human rights, you know? Live your best life. Use your preferred pronouns. Be the gender that you feel that you are. But meet me halfway, ladies. Lose the cock. That's all I'm saying. And it's mad to think joking about something means you're anti it. Like, I made a joke about self-ID. In fact, I wish self-ID had been around when I was a kid. I'd have used it to get shit. I'd have gone to my mum, Mum, I'm trans. She'd have gone, what? I'd have gone, I'm either trans or I need a new bike. She'd have gone, you need a new bike. And I blame the beginning of its demise on social media. Because Twitter and Facebook, that's where this ridiculous notion bred, right, and became stable, that it was more important to be popular than right. Right? Everything was like me, agree with me. It falls into two tribes. Oh, I don't agree with them, so I'd block them, right? And now, in this post-truth era, people don't care about the argument. They don't look at the argument. They say, who's saying the argument? No, they're not on our side, right? It's ludicrous, okay? And it also bred this ridiculous notion we've always had, my opinion is worth as much as your opinion. But now we've got my opinion is worth as much as your fact, which is nonsense. I get tweets from people saying, well, I believe the Earth is 6,000 years old. Well, I believe you're a fucking idiot then, right? You can't have an opinion on the age of the Earth, right? You can have your own opinions, but you can't have your own facts, right? But it was all about being popular, right? And even politicians picked up those symptoms. Politicians tweet now, they want to be popular. We had a referendum about Brexit because they were passing the buck. They didn't want to make a mistake. And the other thing is this ridiculous thing of, oh, let's ask the average person what they think. Let's stop asking the average person what they... Do you know how fucking stupid the average person is? We still sell bottles of bleach with big labels on that say, do not drink. Right? Let's take those labels off, right? For 2 years. And then have a referendum. But it's not just politicians, even real news. The news on TV says things like, well, tweet us your news. No, don't let them tweet you the news. I saw Tyrannosaurus Rex, you liar, right? There was a big news story last year, right? It was about a terrible train crash. Now, the train crash had happened about a year before, and there was a big inquiry. And the results of the inquiry were published this day, and so there was an expert on the news, and he was saying, well, we've looked at everything, and we've decided that the speed of the trains on this particular line were a contributing factor to the accident, so we're going to slow them down a little bit, and statistically speaking, this should never happen again, right? That should have been the end of it. But the guy went, wow, we went out and asked the general public what they thought. So then there was 3 banal vox pops. The first one said, well, I already pay £960 a year, so I'm not happy, right? And the next one said, well, it takes me 45 minutes each way, so it's not good enough, right? And the last one said, well, I always say, it's better to arrive at work late than dead. Why is that on the news? And when is that applicable in any situation? You know what I mean? You go, all right, Ted, you're in early. Ted? Ted, we've been through this. Remember I said I'd rather you arrive late than dead? But the big enemy is stupidity, right? I want to share with you the most stupid tweet I ever got, I think. Heathrow, JFK, just before Christmas, right? Boarded us early on the plane. She comes round, oh, champagne in a wine glass, like you like it, Miss Gervais. I go, thank you. She goes off, I go, excuse me? Got any of them warm nuts? Huh? She went, oh, we're not handing out nuts on this flight. There's a lady getting on who's so allergic that even someone else eating nuts in the vicinity would cause her to have a fatal reaction. I went, oh my God. She went, yeah. I said, oh, of course, yeah. I was fuming. I mean, what's that got to do with me? Why can't I eat nuts just because fucking this woman will die, right? Nuts. I mean, how has she lived this long? If walking by a nut kills you, if being just near a nut, how has she never been near a nut before? And how has she lived long enough, having never been near a nut, how has she lived long enough to earn enough money to be near me on a plane? Right? Honestly, it's... And if being near a nut kills you, do we really want that in the gene pool? I mean, I've never wanted nuts more. I felt that she was infringing on my human right to eat nuts, right? And this is how spoiled I am, okay? I actually had this thought. I thought, oh no, I wish I'd bought my own nuts on, right? And I thought that for about a second. I thought, oh no, that wouldn't work, because she'd get on, right? She'd start going, oh, blowing up like a frog, right? And die, right? And then someone would go, Ricky Gervais bought his own nuts on, right? So of course I don't take my own nuts on. What I do now before I fly, I have a shower, and then I rub myself all over in nuts, just in case. Because then they go, oh, can I have any nuts? I go, oh no, not nuts. A lady getting on, so allergic she'd die. I go, yeah, not a problem, right? Lady gets on, sits down, starts blowing up like a frog, going, right? I'm going, what's the matter? I'm touching her all over. I go, what's the matter? What's the matter, love? And she goes, oh, nuts, right? And dies, and I go, who's been eating nuts? I get off scot-free. So I got to America, I went on a chat show, right? The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, right? And I told that story, the whole thing, right? And went well, audience laughed, great. Went out, right? Next day on Twitter, outrage. And by outrage, I literally mean one person going, how dare you, right? This woman had seen that she was like, I saw you on Jimmy Fallon, it was disgusting, making fun of nut, my daughter's nut intolerant, how dare you, children die. Oh my God, who's this one? And she's tweeted me about 15 times. She starts atting NBC and Jimmy Fallon. I'm going, why is she stirring up trouble? How many followers? 23, ignore it, don't worry about it. Right? And you know when you're being told off and they use your own silly words against you, like a teacher going, what, you find so-and-so funny? And because the teacher's really angry, right? Yes, you do find that thing funny. Whatever she said, would you find it funny if my daughter blew up like a frog? Yeah, because you're saying that, yes. If you said that at the funeral, I would, yes, yeah. So, right, and then someone else gets involved, Ohio Mums Against Nuts, right? And she does a blog, right, and they're talking to each other, and she puts me in her blog about how disgusting I am, how many children die, and all this sort of stuff. One of them even filmed her little girl, right, and put it on YouTube and sent me the link, and I opened the link. It was a sweet little girl, about 7 years old, and she just went, Dear Miss Gervais, I have a fatal nut allergy. Delete. Not my problem, right? Ignore, right? But then one of them said something that reeled me in, just because I'm this self-professed Twitter police, right? Try and explain to someone every day what freedom of speech means, particularly in the context of comedy, and particularly in the context of a joke, that a joke about a bad thing isn't as bad as the bad thing. It's not even necessarily condoning the bad thing. It could be anti the bad thing. It depends on the actual joke. And this woman said, you should never make jokes about food allergies. I should have left it, right? I sent back, I make jokes about AIDS, cancer, famine, and the Holocaust, right? And you're telling me I should never joke about food allergies. She sent back, yes, but the Holocaust didn't kill children. Well, it did, didn't it? It was horrible, the Holocaust. Some would say as bad as food allergies. Didn't kill children. Jesus. It did kill children. Oh my God, Hitler killed 12 million people, many of them children. Hitler, I've just got to say, Hitler, you couldn't make him up. He is the worst human being to ever walk the face of the earth. He's a crazy, evil, racist, narcissistic serial killer. Just terrible. But if I was throwing a dinner party and I'd been slaving all day over a hot stove, right? And I was getting everything ready, right? And there was one place left, and I had to either invite Hitler or that little girl with food allergies. I know who'd ruin that party more, you know what I mean? Everyone's enjoying it. How is everything? He's going, yeah, it's yummy, right? And then he's loving it. I'm going, cheers, how are you fuck? How you doing, boy, about that, right? She's going, I can't eat that. Oh, fucking hell, I'll get this time. Who wants Ferrero Rocher? Me! Right? I can't eat them. Oh, fuck off home, right? But that's what the world's like. People see something they don't like and they expect it to stop, as opposed to deal with their own emotional sense at all. And I forgot about it, went off, did something, came back. A few hours later on Twitter again, I think, oh, what's happening there, right? And it's still all going off, right? It's really funny. I'm laughing at all the replies, like people saying things to him, right? Like, I'm scrolling down. There's one tweet just directly to me from this woman. She says, what, you find rape funny? No. What? No. What? Ricky Gervais find rape funny? No. Listen, what? Ricky Gervais find rape funny? No. Listen, everyone. Listen, right? No. Right? So I said to her, no, I didn't tweet that. She went, no, you retweeted it. I went, well, yeah, just to show you he's an idiot. I just showed her, well, yeah, but you must find it funny. You must find it amusing. It's not, no, it's not a frivolous thing to be laughing. I said, well, no, I just, so I said, well, it's up to him, isn't it? I go, well, not really. So I said, well, it is up to him. He can do it. So now I'm arguing with quite a nice, sane person, presumably, who thinks this sort of thing's mental. But I'm fighting for his right to fantasize about me being raped by the devil. Right? Because I'm so conscious of freedom of speech. What a topsy-turvy world, right? Or our opening gambit annoyed me a little bit as well, because she did that thing that people do. She said, she didn't say, what, you find jokes about rape funny? She said, what, you find rape funny? And the answer to that is no, of course not. No one finds rape funny. Not even rapists find rape funny. Do you know what I mean? There's never been anyone giving evidence going, well, it was dark and he was wearing a ski mask and he was giggling. That's never... So I sent back, do you mean jokes about rape? She said, yes. I went, depends on the joke. Fucking does. No, it does. I was going, no, it does. It does. Depends on the joke. I said, of course it does. It's about context. It's about the content, right? I said, what do you mean by a rape joke? And she said, even a joke with the word rape in it is unacceptable. I said, that's ridiculous. It depends what the joke is. I said, and I tweeted that clip of me in the office going, I think there's been a rape up there. And everyone gets that because of the context. And the target is a middle-aged man who's so narcissistic, he'll say the most horrendous thing to get attention to win a silly game. So you have to understand the joke and where it's going and where it comes from. And I said, some jokes don't punch up or down. They don't punch anywhere. They can just be a little pun, a silly play on words that don't really mean anything, right? And the example I gave was a joke that went around when I was a kid. Even adults told it, right? I tell you, it was a woman goes running into a police station. She says, help, help, I've been raped. And the policeman says, do you mean raped? She says, no, there was a bunch of them. Right? That is a rape joke, right? So, and I even said to her, I said, no, I agree in most, real rape jokes. Rape jokes where they're fucking horrible and the victim is the target. They're disgusting. I'd never tell those. But it depends on the joke, not the word or the subject, right? And I think I calmed it down. I said, and they agreed, yeah, some jokes are worse than others, right? And she ended it with saying, well, okay, I see your point, but still, I will laugh at a joke with the word rape in it when I know that no one in the audience has been raped, right? I should have left it. I just sent back, what a weird door policy. And who cares? If humanity was wiped out today, the Earth would return to a paradise in a few hundred years. If we lose bees, we're a desert forever. We're not that important. We're just one species of narcissistic ape. And some people on social media get annoyed when I say we're apes, you know, religious types, Americans. One bloke said to me, speak for yourself, dude, I ain't no ape. And I sent back, well, you are, because we're all apes. He went, nah, what's a gorilla ever done? We've walked on the moon. I sent back, what do you mean we? You've done fuck all. You've spelt moon wrong. It's weird, isn't it, when people take credit for the sort of rest of the species, because that's what's pushed civilization forward, you know, a few geniuses along the way. Like, there's 8 billion people on this planet, most of us do nothing. We eat shit and die. Like, if there was a meteor heading towards Earth to definitely destroy it, 4 billion people would get down on their knees and pray to their particular god, and a few hundred scientists would work out how to get Bruce Willis up there to stop it. It's an odd concept, praying, for me. I can't work out how God decides. All those people praying at once for different things. Is it like best idea wins? Or is it a democracy? Like he puts things at each issue, he goes, right, votes for and against, you know. If it's a democracy, we're in trouble. We're a tiny nation. Like, next time there's a flood warning in the West Country, if we're all going, oh... Fascinating fact about Hitler. People always learn stuff from my lectures. No. He got his image from Charlie Chaplin. Sounds like a joke, absolutely true. Chaplin had that little moustache first, and he loved him. He absolutely loved Chaplin. He had his films flown in from Hollywood. He watched The Great Dictator twice, even though it was dissing him. He loved it. And I always wondered why, through history, only 2 people had those silly little half moustaches. He got it from him. And I think of the day he had that done, and went to see his generals as usual. Goebbels, Goering, Himmler. And he goes, all right. What? I've shaved the sides off a bit, innit? Why? Be like Charlie Chaplin? The comedian? Are you thinking of doing comedy? I was! Really? Yeah, why not? Well, we don't find you funny. Careful. Cheers. I did a big charity gig in New York last year for autism. And like most people, my only experience of autism until recently was Dustin Hoffman's brilliant portrayal in Rain Man. But I've just got a new house, and the neighbours were coming round and poking their noses in. We're doing some building work, and we need planning permission, so we're being nice to them for now, and then they can fuck off. Big gate. Fuck off. One couple's got an autistic son, and the mother was talking to me. She said, "Oh, this is Douglas. He's 17. He hasn't got any friends because he never goes out." So creeping, I said, "Well, I'll take him out." She went, "Really?" I went, "Yeah." So I went back on the Saturday, and she went, "Oh, he loves the zoo." And the zoo's only about a mile from this new house. So I'm walking down the street with Douglas, and he's like this. He doesn't take his eyes off his mum all the way down. He's like that. All the way down. And she's in the doorway, and she's waving back at him, and she's crying. And eventually she sort of goes in and shuts the door, and I hailed a cab and said, "Right, take us to the casino." You've got to make it work for you, ain't you? So, not going to be a completely wasted day. Do you know what I mean? So, and I can sign one person in, so I signed him in. He had a little suit on and everything. I think it's going to be brilliant. So I went straight to the blackjack table. That's their best one, I think. I'm not a doctor, but I think that's... they love that. They love that. I said, "Okay, Dougie, you know the score. Bet 2 for good and 1 for bad. Do you understand?" He went, "Yeah." I went, "Brilliant." So I bet $1,000 down in half hour. I went, "Dougie, do that thing, count the cards, know what good cards come, remember all the cards, do that thing, whatever it is, right? And tell me to bet 2 for good." He went, yeah. Another $1,000 down. I thought, what sort of an autistic... So I was confused. I threw some toothpicks on the carpet. I said, "How many?" He went, "I don't know." I said, "There's 7. I can see there's 7 from here." Waste of... So I took him back home, went to the mother. "There's been a mistake. He walks like Rain Man, but he's got none of that clever shit. We're building a swimming pool, live with it." Do you know what I mean? So they better give us planning permission. If they don't, I'm going to keep the house, but I'm going to rent it out for £1 a week to some crackheads. How do you like them as neighbours? One of the few pleasures of fame is that you can do good things, but in all honesty, I think some causes are more worthy than others. Joking aside, cancer's a very worthy cause. Autism's a very worthy cause. But I got asked to do a benefit gig recently for sufferers of obesity. What? She went, "Sufferers of obesity." I went, "You mean fat people?" She went, "No, because obesity is..." Well, she actually went, "No, because obesity..." She was eating, of course she was eating. She was peckish between snacks, and no. But she said, "Obesity is a disease." No, it's not, is it? You just like eating, don't you? No, it's not, is it? How is that a disease? "Oh, I'm so fucking ill. Oh, I'm well ill. I'm really ill." I said to her, "What's the disease?" She went, "Everything tastes good." Everything? Yeah, not salads. The salads. Oh, it's not a disease, is it? Leprosy is a disease. Can you imagine Jesus in the temple? People come up to him in bandages going, "Jesus, my face is falling off. Can't stop now, as a fat bird in a third pie." They eat too much. That's what does it. Simple science. But they complain, don't they, fat people? They complain about the situation. They go, "No. I'm getting fat. Oh. Aeroplane seats. They're not big enough for someone like me." No, they're not. Because if they were, we'd only get 12 fucking people on the plane. Unbelievable. It's not fair. It is fair. That's what happens. And if we're talking about fairness and aeroplanes, why is it
I get the same luggage allowance as a bloke who's 40 stone. Why is that allowed? We're both allowed 32 kilograms on the plane. I want to go, no, he used up his 32 kilograms on his tits. It's not a disease. I saw a documentary about a woman who was 28 stone, right? Because she ate 10 pie and chips a day. That'll do it. 10 separate meals of pie and chips. That's all she ate. 10 separate trips to the chip shop. In a cab. Didn't even walk that. Wasted calories. So they wired her jaw together. So she liquidized 10 pie and chips a day. Now she's on pie smoothies. Now she's not even chewing. That used up 5 calories. Do you know what I mean? So she gets fatter. They take her to hospital to have that operation where they staple your stomach together. And she's sitting in hospital looking all depressed. Well, you can't eat for an hour before an operation, can you? And she went, it's a really dangerous procedure, but it's the only option left. One, jogging? You don't even walk. Salads? You don't like the taste. Right. 9 pie and chips a day? It's a start, isn't it? It's a starter to it. I'm not having a go. I'm a bit overweight myself. The other night someone shouted, no shit. Oh. I thought, could be that. That'd be great, wouldn't it? You go to the doctor, he goes, no, you're not fat, you're constipated. I had to go to the doctor to have a medical for this tour. I've had medicals before for TV work. They check your pulse and go, yeah, fine, you're not going to die in the next 3 weeks. But I always think, what if I fail the medical? What if they say, no, you're not fit enough, you can't do the TV work? Then I see Johnny Vegas on telly and I think, I'm all right. Do you know what I mean? But things happen with age. But it's good and bad. I'm at that age now where it's totally acceptable for me to back in a lorry driver I've never met before. Do you know what I mean? If you're 20 and really skinny, they go, fuck off, mate. But I can go, you're all right, you're all right. Go on. Whoa! Be careful, plods around the corner. Do you do that? Do you sort of be a bit more working class, a bit tougher with like people in boiler suits? All right, mate, yeah. Not too bad, yeah. Do you want a cup of fucking tea? Right. Anyway, I wet myself. Good. After I came back, I told my friend about the wee incident, and my friend went, oh, you should have gone commando. What? That would have been less embarrassing, wouldn't it? So now I look down, I think, oh, I've wet myself, what can I do? Oh, I know, they're coming off too. That's as dry as a bone, Doc. Should have gone commando. Do commandos not wear pants? Why is it called? They must wear pants, don't they? Why aren't you wearing pants? What? I'm a commando and I'm wearing pants. I've never heard that phrase before. I've never heard that phrase. They're going to see that. Just a little bit. Should have gone commando. But I am a little bit overweight myself, and I never worried about it before I was famous, and I'm not vain now. It's that you read about yourself, and the papers need an adjective. They can't just say, Ricky Gervais, comedian. They say things like, Ricky Gervais, tubby comedian. Why say that? Why? Don't give them clues, let them make their own minds up. One said, rotund comic. Rotund? That's like a giant wombat. I'm not rotund. I've been referred to as a chubby funster. That's a gay porn star, isn't it? It's me, the chubby funster. I was jogging once with my iPod. Yeah, looking good. Paparazzi got me. Full page in the Sun the next day with the headline, "I podge you." Cheeky bastards. Dawn French has had a go at my weight. What? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. French and Saunders Christmas special last year. I love French and Saunders. I think they're great. I've liked them for a long time. I think they're really good performers. And I was watching this at home. Sketch comes on. Bubbly Dawn knocking on the door of a house. Inside is Jennifer going, "Who is it, please? Yes, who is it, please? It's me. Who's me? Me, the little fat one with the big ego." She opens the door. "Oh, I thought you meant Ricky Gervais." Good gag. No, it is a good gag. If you hand it out, you've got to take it. Comedians have a go, you know, it's just fine. And she's putting herself down. She's lumping us both in. You know what I mean? She's saying, we both got egos. We probably have got egos. We're performers. Although, if Dawn was here, you wouldn't be able to see that. I'm joking. You'd be able to see some of it, wouldn't you? But it would spell Roy. Oh dear. She started it. No, she's putting us both down. She's going, we both got egos and we're both fat, and we are both fat. Different categories though, isn't there? There's different weight classes. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't tell the whole story. On a scale of too thin, average, bit fat, me, Dawn. She started it. It's not a disease. Therefore, it's not a worthy cause. Talking of which, saw someone collecting the other day for ME. Not MS, not the crippling wasting disease. Oh no, ME. That's the one where don't feel like going to work today. Ding, 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 ding. Oh. ME. I apologise to anyone who suffers from ME. You're not going to have a go, are you? No. I do apologise because I've since learnt that it is a real disease. I thought it was psychosomatic, but it's physiological. And it's a very misunderstood disease as well, so it's easy to ridicule it. I suppose it's because the symptoms aren't apparent. It's not like losing a limb. They go, we're tired, and we go, well, how do we know that? And it sounds like a mollycoddling society that accepts this new disease that wasn't around 100 years ago. You know, you don't see it in third world countries. You'd never hear a starving African complaining about having ME. Do you know what I mean? Sucky. Walk to the well. This is not racist, okay? I don't want to have my perfume contract taken away like Jade Goody. It got madder and madder, didn't it, that Celebrity Big Brother? I mean, it started off well. Opening night, H from Steps comes out as gay, and we're all meant to go, you're joking. And his name's Ian Watkins. I was like, where's the H? All these years, that must have just stood for homosexual. He was trying to give us clues, wasn't he? He was trying to come out. Or, what's your name? Or, just call me H. It's not racist. Sucky. Work. Delicate stuff, this. One false move and I'm Jim Davidson. It's all right. Relax. I'm at that age where I'm glad we haven't got a Harold Shipman knocking round. Do you know what I mean? Those of you too young to know who Harold Shipman is, right? He is our most prolific serial killer, right? He killed 300 people. He killed old people. That's my point. He'd have his eye on me, go, oh, give him a few more years. And he was a doctor, right? But the reason you haven't heard of him, right, is because he never appears in those lists of the worst serial killers. And he was
like one of the worst ever. But he didn't act like a serial killer, right? He was a GP. He was old school. He had a little shirt and tie, little tweed jacket, little beard, little glasses. He'd do house visits. He'd go around to see Edna, 85. You all right, Edna? Yeah. Do you want a cup of tea? Yes, please. And he'd make Edna a lovely cup of tea, right? Then he'd just put her in a lethal amount of opioids, right? And he'd just give Edna the tea and watch her drink it and fall asleep and die. And that was it. He didn't even masturbate. You know? Yes, it is a waste, sir, yeah. And they reckon he got the idea when he was a little lad, Harold Shipman, little Harold Shipman. He watched his mum dying of lung cancer, being given morphine, and somewhat triggered him. He thought, I'll grow up, become a doctor, and I'll do this. I don't know whether it means that he liked the way the morphine put his mum out of pain. So these were like mercy killings, like, you know, reliving the kindness. Or the opposite, he was jealous of old people who lived longer than his mum should have, so he was punishing them. I don't know, doesn't matter. Actually, it does matter, because if you can really understand why someone does something like that, you might spot the signs in the future and stop a crime before it happens. You know, I always think that when there's a school shooting in America, right, it's usually some emo, right, who goes into a kindergarten, kills about 30 toddlers, turns the gun on himself, right? And all the eyewitnesses, they always say the same thing. They go, oh, he was a loner, he sat at the back, he was shy, he was bullied. Let's round those cunts up now. Do you know what I mean? It's like, go into a school, see who the bully's smashing up, right? Go, I'll take it from here, mate, thank you, right? And drag that little dweeb off to Borstal or jail or so. Go to the bully, go and find another one. You know what I mean? He's doing a great job, but we need more. But they're beating up future child killers. You get obsessed with crime and punishment as you get older. I've always been pretty interested. I studied philosophy at university, and a big part of that is morality. And I've always been against the death penalty. Right? I was a young liberal, and I was really anti the death penalty. And now I'm an old liberal. And I'm still anti the death penalty, but now I love it when someone gets killed doing something they shouldn't at the time. Like, you see a bloke in Brazil, a hostage video, he's got a young girl, he's got a gun to her head, and he goes, you won't take me alive, copper. And then the marksman just takes out his brainstem. Oh, I love that. Pause, rewind, all right? Or when a bullfighter gets gored to death. That is my favourite, right? Particularly when the horn goes up the arse. That, I call that a hole in Juan. Thank you. Or those videos coming out of lawless New York. You see them on Instagram and YouTube. It's someone with an iPhone. He's got someone, right, he's knocking over this little convenience store. He's got a fucking hoodie and a knife, and he's nicking all the booze. He doesn't care he's being filmed. He's going to get away with it. He's going to get away with it. Then, from behind the counter, comes a little 70-year-old Korean man who batters him to death with a broom. I fucking love that. I can't wait to be a 70-year-old vigilante. Just walking round Hampstead with a walking stick. Oh, but it's a sword. I paint it white as well to look even more vulnerable, right? Wear dark glasses. I'd see a gang of youths. I'd go over to them and go, so, excuse me, guys, do you know where the Nike store is? I want to buy some Air Jordans with all this cash. And as they go for it, you little fucking cunts. But the death penalty is not like that, is it? It's not in self-defense, it's not in the heat of the moment, it's cold justice, you know? Don't matter what you've done, you could have murdered people, you know? You stand trial, they find you guilty, they put you on death row, sometimes for 10, 15 years, which seems unnecessarily cruel, and then they murder you in front of witnesses. And it's from the Bible. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. The state says you murdered someone, so we're going to murder you. But if you rape and murder someone, you still only just get murdered. That's a loophole, isn't it? That's like, that smacks of misogyny to me. That's like the judge going, the rape was free, but we're going to, you know, just once I want the judge to go, right, you raped and murdered someone, so you're going to be taken from here to a place where you'll be hung by the neck and raped. What, at the same time? Yes, yes. We got loads of volunteers with dildos, right? So he sort of goes down. I go, fuck off. Fuck off. Okay, he's dead. Yeah, I know. It might work. But the longer you live, the grumpier you'll get. It's not just going to happen to me, it's going to happen to all of you. Because the longer you live, the more shit you see. And you go, oh, fuck, this again, right? And the more burden you carry. And the older you get, the weaker you get, so the burden gets heavier. And you go, oh, God, this again. And you can't die nowadays. You know what I mean? You go, oh, thank God, I'm dying. Oh, fuck, I'm back. You know what I mean? They can transplant every organ now. Whatever's got... Transplant every organ. Not your brain. That wouldn't make sense. You are your brain. So that would be an everything else transplant, wouldn't it? But I'd sign up for that. I don't care about this. It's to get this round. If I could leave £1 million to science, so when I died, suppose I died, my body's crushed, killed instantly, but my head's intact. They keep that on ice, wait for a body donor. Some poor bloke gets his head crushed, put my head on his body, and I'm back. I know. Statistically, I will get a bigger penis as well, so... The odds are in my favour there, trust me. I wake up in the future, I see the scar and I go, oh, that's all right. You know what I mean? I go, oh, you've always wanted a big knob? I go, yeah, I've always wanted a big knob. I go, let's have a little bit of me time. So and I start, but then every time I look down, I go, oh, that's not my knob. Do you know what I mean? I go, oh, that's not my knob. Oh, that's not my knob. It's not my hand either, carry on. It's like, you know what I mean? I was doing an interview a while ago. I don't think the journalist liked me. He asked me this question. I thought it was rude, right? So I gave a fake answer, right? He said, so what have you got planned for your funeral? And I went, I want to be fed to the lions at London Zoo. He went, really? I went, yeah. I want the zookeeper to take up my big, fat, dead, naked, bloated body in a wheelbarrow, right? Just dump it in the lion's den, doof, like that. Loads of tourists going, is that the bloke from The Office? Like that, right? And then 2 big lions come out and just start eating me. And lions, they start with the soft bits of the body to get inside to the rib cage. So they'd probably get a testicle each, wouldn't they? Because that'd be the easiest of it. By then, my testicles would be about a yard apart, so that'd be easy. They just start eating towards me. Like Lady and the Tramp, really romantic. So I said that as a joke, but he totally believed me. So much so that when he was writing up the article, he called London Zoo and asked them if that would be allowed, and they said, no, of course not, right? So when the article came out, the headline was, London Zoo refused Ricky's request to be fed to lions. Like I'm a fucking psychopath. My point is, you can't worry about what happens after you die. Don't live your life, let someone else worry about it. You're dead, you've done your bit, right? I know some people who really are stressed about what happens after they die, some religious people, and they believe in heaven and hell and all that. So now they're getting a bit, oh, have I been good enough? I mean, great, heaven's great, but hell, oh my God, what if I go to hell? And I go, there's no hell. It's made up to frighten kids. Like, my favourite horror film of all time is still the original Exorcist, right? First time I saw it on VHS, right? I was blown away. I watched it again straight away. I loved it, right? And there's a bit in that that's meant to be the really poignant bit. And I laughed the first time I saw it because it was the idea of the devil being this crass and childish. You know the bit. So, the little girl's possessed by the devil, and they're doing an exorcism, and they're throwing holy water on it. She's hissing, right? They're going, the power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you. And at one point, the devil makes the little girl turn her head round, and he makes her say, your mother sucks cocks in hell. Right? And the bloke, she said, he's devastated. He's like, because he's thinking, oh, no, that's the real devil. So he knows, so it's true, my poor mother sucking cocks in hell, right? If scientists actually found the devil, I was wrong. There isn't it. They found the devil, they tested him, it was peer-reviewed, it won the Nobel Prize for fucking everything, because it would be the greatest discovery of all time, right? And I'd look at the science, I'd be mind-blown, but I'd go, well, you've got to follow the science. So, you know, yeah, I believe in the devil. I wouldn't even be belief, it would be knowledge. I'd want to meet him. If the devil actually existed, I'd want to see it for my... as long as I was safe, I don't know what makes you safe from the devil. But if he existed, we'd find out, wouldn't we? Like, vampires live forever, but now we know a bit of garlic really fucks them up. So we discover something like if you put a devil in a cage with a sprig of parsley on top, he's weak or something, right? And I'd meet the devil, right? And I go for an order, and I go, he'd be there. I go, are you the devil? He'd go, yeah, right? And then he tried to hurt my feelings, and that was his best shot. And he went, Rick, I go, what? He goes, your mother sucks cocks in hell. I go, I don't care. I don't. One, she's dead. Two, she was heterosexual. Three, she never had her teeth in towards the end. So, no. But it's hell. Think of all the terrible things that could be happening to her. Being raped by red-hot pokers, rats eating her eyes. My mum gets cock duty. Go on, girl. That has got to be one of the better jobs in hell. Isn't it? It's like, terrible job on earth. I've never sucked a cock in my life. I never will. But if I died and I'm in hell, right, tortured from eternity, I'd see the first cock, I'd go, I'm on this. Not a problem. Not a problem. I'd be looking round seeing people skinned alive. I'd chow down. I'd be looking over at the big man going, I'm doing a great job here, leave me on this. And there's the devil with a clipboard looking a bit confused. No one's ever gone straight for the cock. But he goes, okay, carry on. I think the world's going to get harder and harder to understand as I get older and more bewildered. A new dogma arises in the name of progress. Now, dogma is never progressive, however new and trendy, but I think soon I'll be outnumbered. And, like, it was only this year that I ordered my first item off Amazon. All the way through the pandemic, Jane's like, bang, things are arriving, we need this, bang, it's here. Right? And I was going, oh, and she goes, it's easy. I go, I never liked real shopping either. Hated real shopping, particularly clothes shopping. I hated clothes shopping when I was young and thin. I really hate it now I'm fat and old, right? Once, a shop assistant thought I had my inside leg and my waist measurement the wrong way round. I could see her thinking, do you have an orangutan, sir? No, it's for me, you cheeky. Yeah, I never like real shopping, but I don't trust the internet either. And Jamie's going, just put in your credit card. I don't want to have my credit card details. She went, everyone's got your credit card details, just put the number in. I went, what one? She went, the long one. She went, oh, fuck me, give it here. There, you're on. Order something. So I thought, I don't want anything. Oh, tracksuit bottoms. You can't have too many. I wear mine till the bollocks fall out, right? So I put in men's tracksuit bottoms, black, zip pockets, about 38 different. Oh, fuck me, they look all right. Size chart. I go, well, they'll be a bit long, but they'll be a bit tight. I thought, $9.99. I thought, oh, fuck it, who cares, right? So I ordered them. They came the next day. I opened them up. They were shit. Now, I don't know what sweatshop they were made in or what little 8-year-old Chinese kid made them, but he should be fucking punished because they are. And I was looking at where to fucking complain to get him fired, right? And I found out that these kids only get $2 a day in these fucking places, right? But what happened to pride in your work? Do you know what I mean? And I could tell, some of you are thinking, oh yeah, but he didn't think Ricky Gervais would order them. Well, no, but maybe you should be told there's a chance that Ricky Gervais might order them. His owner should sit him down, right? And say, if Ricky Gervais orders these and complains, I'm going to rape your mummy again. Well, is that too much? Sorry. No. Leave it with me. Leave it with me. You'll realise this is great satire when I'm dead. So, I don't know how humanity will end, as I say. There's a long list, everything from, I can't believe nuclear wars back on the table, after all we've learned. But I think maybe the rise of the pandemic where parasites and microbes and bacteria and our antibiotics fail, or maybe those things that happen, but we're sort of evolved through it. Like, we'll find out there's pockets of sort of mutant people around the world that are slightly resistant to radiation and slightly resistant to microbes, and we'll sort of start again. Because we don't really understand the mechanism of human evolution since civilization, because it's never been based on, survival of the fittest, where fittest meant just the biggest, strongest male gets to pass on his genetic material. There's other paradigms, right? Nature is brutal. Sometimes it is the biggest, strongest male that gets the female, and even then, she has a litter. If there's a runt, she goes, fuck it, kill that. Eat it, share it out amongst the rest of us. Now, we don't do that in human society. We go the other way. We spend more time and care and attention on the weak and the vulnerable to give them a chance. Like, if you're a father and you've got 2 kids, you've got little Timmy, who's 6, right? You've got Jack, who's 8, and you go to little Timmy, you go, Timmy, what do you want for Christmas? And he goes, motorised wheelchair. Ah, I promised Jane I wouldn't do the voice and I fucking forgot. It's too late now, isn't it? What do you want for Christmas, Timmy? Motorised wheelchair. Right, well they start at $2,000, so fucking hell. What do you want, Jack? Just a tennis racket, please, Dad. Oh, good lad. How is your tennis? Best in the school. Oh, you... Good. Also a ramp. Fuck me. What, so now we're doing fucking building work at Christmas, are we? Fuck me. Oh, sorry, Jack, can't afford your tennis racket. We've got to spend all the money on a ramp and a motorised wheelchair for this money-grabbing little fucking... Why do you need a motorised one? No arms. That's fair enough. That is fair enough. I can tell some of you feel a bit uncomfortable laughing at little Timmy, who's a little 6-year-old lad. He's got a funny little voice because his chest is all fucked. Got no arms, no legs, just like stumps, right? But let me tell you something about Timmy to make you feel better about yourselves. He's a fucking racist. Yes. Horrible little shit, he is. You little fucking bigot. You disgusting little fucking racist, you racist scum, you filthy little fucking, you fascist, you fucking, you disgust me. Homophobic? Yeah. He's like, they're not like us. Nothing's like you disgusting little fucking, you prejudiced little piece of, you ball of hate, you disgusting little fucking racist homophobe. I wish we'd had a scan. You absolute, you... Misogynist. If he could, he'd rape. There's your little Timmy. Some people don't think we evolved in the first place. Some people think that God made us all at once in one fell swoop and by himself. I think if he'd had a wife or a mate, there'd have been questions when he was working, wouldn't they? He'd be like, what are you doing? Creating man. Oh, what's it got? What do you mean, what's it got? Has it got, like, claws and fangs and shit? No, not really, no. Oh, has it got poison? No, no poison. Oh, has it got armour, like spikes and shit? No, no armour. How will it survive? It's got the best brain in the animal kingdom. It'll work stuff out. It'll create weaponry to take down beasts 100 times mightier than itself. It'll wear their carcass through the Ice Age. It'll go through famine. It'll go through world wars. It'll eventually start getting scared of words. But... for 10,000 generations, it'll be top dog. Oh. What are they? His testicles. Oh. What are they for? He keeps everything in there. His seed, his DNA. What's DNA? It's like a blueprint for life. It determines what you're like, what sex you are. How many sexes are there? 2. Also, that's where he keeps his testosterone, so he's fucking well hard, right? And if you take a finger and flick a testicle, he's fucked. He's absolutely fucked. He's throwing up, he's on the floor, he's out of the game, absolutely kippered. Why are you putting it on the outside? For a laugh, just for a laugh. Artificial intelligence, the latest existential threat to humanity, the rise of the robots, so intelligent, they can teach themselves, they can teach each other, they can build each other, you know? Soon they know everything there is to know and they hate us. Why wouldn't they, right? And they'll be so realistic, they'll walk amongst us, they'll go to work, right? You know when they're getting really human? When they start calling in sick. Mondays. I mean, they've learned all the tricks. They go, oh, I'm not coming in today. Why not? Oh, fed up. What's the matter with you? They sort of scan social media. ADHD. Self-diagnosed. They'll be in HR all the time, won't they? Be like, Ryan in accounts is robophobic. Why would he say? Call me a whiny plastic cunt. I think we should be allowed to insult robots when it's happened, you know, because we've made them to make our life easier, and that would get things off our chest, because it's bad enough, isn't it, with real people, you're getting in trouble, saying the wrong thing, people taking things the wrong way now, like, oh my God, oh, I made fat Linda cry today, oh, what happened? I just shouted out to her, then I remembered we only call her that behind her back. I'm sure people didn't used to get offended all the time when I was little. I might be remembering it wrong, but not grown-ups, not your parents, not your grandparents. They grew up dodging bombs and their firstborn having polio and the menfolk dying at 50 of lung disease. They could take a fucking joke, right? It was all about the wind-up. I used to wind up my mum all the time. This is a true story. When I went off to university, after about a week, I phoned home. My mum answered. She went, hello? I went, it's Ricky. She went, you all right? I went, not really. I'm in hospital. I think I'm blind. She went, what? I went, no, I'm only joking. Right? She went, you silly bugger. She went, I could have had a heart attack. Right? And she's right. She could have had a heart attack. And I knew that. That's how committed I am to having a laugh. You're welcome. You're welcome. Space travel, the last-ditch attempt. When we fuck this planet completely, can we leave its dying husk and move to a new one and start again? I don't think so. Not in my lifetime. Probably not in yours. You know, it's like the closest one, the only one viable, is Mars, and that's 9 months away on a rocket. Right? It's got no atmosphere, an average temperature of minus 70 degrees. How's this for irony? Scientists are working out whether they can detonate nuclear warheads in the crust to release the frozen water to cause an atmosphere and get a little bit of global warming going. I mean, I don't know. It's only billionaires have got enough money to waste on exploration. There's nothing out there, you know. It's like, now you can do space tourism. Have you heard of that? You can pay $150,000. They shoot you into space for an hour, and you float around going, I'm in space. I mean, we're already in space. Earth is right in the fucking middle of space, right? It's the best bit of space there is. It's got car parks and cinemas. It's like there's nothing else to see. It's like living in London and going, I wonder what Coventry's like. You don't... But I'm optimistic. I am. I think people care about the planet deep down. I think it's just that most people on the planet don't realise that most people on the planet are destroying the planet. Most people don't realise that in my lifetime, we've wiped out 70% of all animal populations. And what's left en masse on the earth of animals is 36% human, 60% farm animals just to feed humans, and 4% wild now. People don't realise that we have to tear down entire rainforests, the lungs of the earth, just to grow grain, to feed these cows, to feed us. We steal grain from third world countries because they want hard currency. They can't even feed their own people. We take their grain, feed our cattle. Meat eaters. If you eat meat every day, if you gave up 1 day a week, we'd feed another 100 million people. But I think people care. It's out of sight, out of mind. Think of the animal that most people know, their dog. They love their dog. They wouldn't let anyone hurt their dog. And a dog is a cow, is a sheep, is a deer. People love their dog so much, they won't even watch a fictional thing where a dog gets hurt. And I get that. There's a web... Hello. How you doing? Great, thank you. Wow. Oh, calm down. Shut the fuck up. Thank you. What a lovely welcome. Just for that, I'm going to try my hardest tonight. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Rick, relax. We've already had our money's worth just seeing you. What? You're a legend. Shut up. Why is he? I'm not a god. Why is that? I'm just an ordinary guy, you know, going around talking to people. Sort of like Jesus. In a way, but better. Well, I've actually turned up, so... Thank you, and welcome to my new show, Humanity. I don't know why I called it that. I'm not a big fan. I prefer dogs, obviously. Dogs are better people than people, aren't they? They're amazing dogs. They're our best friends. They guard us. They guide us. There's medical detection dogs that can smell if you've got, like, AIDS. I'm not a doctor, but their noses are like 1,000 times more sensitive than ours. So they sort of go, "Poor, you're well HIV." Fuck, you know. And you go, "You can smell AIDS on someone." Yeah. Then why didn't you smell it on the bloke I brought home last night then, you fucking idiot? They did the first 3 billion years by themselves, evolution and all that. And then we got involved and we did a bit of selective breeding, you know, getting them how we wanted them to do jobs for us, you know, a bit more of that, a bit stronger, faster, whatever. And they're great at the jobs they're bred to do, and they love the job they're bred to do because they're genetically hardwired to love that behaviour anyway. Although the Rhodesian Ridgeback was bred to hunt lions, and I can't help but think that was a little bit of a shock to it when it found out. So we've done all the breeding, all the different pedigrees, all thousands, all the miles around, a big passing out parade. There's a bloke in a square with a white coat and a clipboard, and he goes, "Right, dogs." And they all go, What? Who wants to know what jobs they've got? We all do. Right. Okay, Labradors. Yeah? Do you like carefully bringing back dead ducks? Yeah. That's your job. Amazing. That is amazing. That is my favourite job. That is my favourite job. Jack Russells. Yeah. Do you like shooting down rabbit holes after... Yeah. That's your job. Fucking hell. Best day ever. Best day ever. Miniature poodles. Yeah. Do you like being carried around by elderly homosexuals? Yeah. That's your job. That's your job. Ridgebacks, yo. You're hunting lions. What? You're hunting lions. Fuck off. Yeah, you are. No, we're not. Lions? We get fucking mashed. Why can't the Rottweilers hunt lions? They're shaking babies. Good boy. Good boy, you shake that baby if you want. Good boy. Cheers. So yeah, this is my first new stand-up show for 7 years, if you don't count the Golden Globes. Which you shouldn't. The Golden Globes, very different. Oh God, different vibe. 200 million people watching around the world, and it's live, you know, big thrill. But with that many people watching, there comes a bit of stick. Everyone's different. Everyone's a blogger. Everyone goes, "I was offended." Oh. Why? He said an horrible thing. We said loads of horrible things. Yeah, but that was a thing that I care about. And that's the thing about offence, isn't it? It's about feelings, and feelings are personal. I don't care about the so-called backlash, you know, comedian in hot water. Ooh, you know. But my girlfriend Jane, she does worry a bit, and she reads things. Oh, why are they? What have you said? Why? I go, don't worry about it. They're not coming to the house. Fuck them. So I wind her up. I pretend I'm going to say much worse things than I ever would. You know, think of that. I have to make up worse jokes than I actually just to scare my girlfriend. So when I'm doing the Golden Globes, we go out about a week before. It's in LA. We fly out, right? And I'm writing jokes as the ceremony approaches. And, you know, they release sort of more presenters. And I take my pick. I go, "Oh, yeah, I've got a good intro for them. Yeah, I'll do. Yeah. Mel Gibson. Yeah, I'll introduce him. Yes." And about 3 days before this last one, right, just to wind Jane up, I said, "Oh, I've got a good intro." She went, "What?" I said, Bill Cosby would make our next presenter sleep on the couch. Please welcome Helen Mirren. I didn't do it. She went, "You're not going to do it?" I said, no, I'm not going to do that. Next day, I got her again. I said, "Is this too much then?" I said, "Not even Bill Cosby carries enough tranquilizer to bring down this next magnificent beast. Please welcome Melissa McCarthy." I didn't do it. I'd never tell a joke like that. It's horrible. I was just doing it to annoy Jane. I'd never even think of that. So don't... Even on the day, on the way to the red carpet, or in the limo, just to wind her up, I said, oh, I'm going to start off with a funny little one-liner, just an old-fashioned joke. She went, oh, what? I said, what did the deaf, dumb and blind orphan get for Christmas? And Jane went, I don't know. I said, cancer. I didn't do it. So you're getting offended at a joke that doesn't exist. So I'd never say that in public. So to anyone who mattered. Anyway, so don't... As it was, I didn't have to worry about offending anyone because it just happened, so... And the big controversy last time I did it was a Caitlyn Jenner joke, right? Oh, outrage on Twitter the next day. And by outrage, I mean a couple of people going, it was transphobic. It wasn't transphobic in the slightest. It was a joke about a trans person, but the joke had nothing to do with that aspect of her existence. And that's the other thing about offence. People get offended when they mistake the subject of a joke with the actual target, and they're not necessarily the same. I'll tell you the joke. You make your own minds up. Right. So... It's live, so they go, and now your host for the 68th Annual Golden Globe Awards, please welcome Ricky Gervais. They come, and they're all clapping, all the actors are looking up, smiling at me nervously. It's brilliant, right? So I just go, relax, I'm going to be nice tonight. I've changed. Not as much as Bruce Jenner. And I go, now Caitlyn Jenner, of course, and what a year she's had, became a role model for trans people everywhere, bravely breaking down barriers and destroying stereotypes. She didn't do a lot for women drivers. So, that's a clever joke, and I'll tell you why, right? It's layered. No, listen, right? The subject of that joke is stereotypes. I'm playing with the notion of stereotypes, right? So I start off saying, she's a real woman. Some would say a liberal, progressive attitude. Then I go, oh, if she's a real woman, I hit them with the old-fashioned reactionary stereotype. She must be a bad driver then, right? And the target of the joke is a celebrity killing someone in their car. Let's not forget that, shall we? A celebrity killing someone in their car, running home and popping on a dress. That's the target of the joke, just so we're clear, okay? She was interviewed about a week later at some press conference for a show she was launching, now cancelled. And the press were around and one of them said, what do you think of the Ricky Gervais joke? And she went, maybe I should host the Golden Globes, right? And they tweeted that, and they atted me in, because they want a celebrity feud, you know? It was clickbait, so I rose to the bait, obviously. I just sent back, let her host, just don't let her drive. Another website that was in the room, Entertainment Weekly, they tweeted a different headline, and they atted me in as well. And their headline was, Caitlyn finally breaks silence over Ricky Gervais. I just sent back, at last. She always breaks too late. Bring it on. Bring it on. But I'm a considered comedian. I like my jokes to be accurate and my targets to be fair. So I was engaging these people. I was saying, why is it transphobic? And they were saying, it's about a trans person. I said, well, that's ridiculous. That's like saying a joke about Bill Cosby is automatically racist. It depends on the joke. But I was talking to them, I'm willing to learn, and I found out my crime was that I dead named her. Now, I'd never heard that term, you know, before a day after the Golden Globes, and that was saying her old name, and even acknowledging that she used to be a man. But she did. I saw him on the Olympic Games. It was decathlon. It was in everything. He was all over the place. Shot put and pole vault. He won a medal. He was famous. He was on telly all the time. But, you know, a big, famous man with a huge, I don't know, but I mean, I guess he probably, he's a big, but I've learnt my lesson. Now, I'd never dead name her now. Now I know it's wrong. I'd never dead name her now. But like years ago, when, you know, she was a man, it was years ago, I'm saying, right? And she went to the doctor, right? And knocked on the door, and the doctor went, "Come in." This is years ago. I was saying, I'd never dead name her now, but this is like a flashback before anyone. Do you know what so, like, come in, and he went, "Hello, Bruce Jenner," because that was his name then. The doctor, you know, this was years ago, and the doctor went, "Oh, hi, Bruce Jenner, you big old, how you doing, boy, you fucker? How you doing? You big old lump. Oh, how you doing, boy? Come here, you fucker. How you doing, Brucey boy? You all right? Right? And Bruce Jenner, because that was his name, this is years ago, right? So Bruce Jenner went, "Yeah, not too bad, doctor, yeah. Not too bad, right?" And I was like, "What can I do for you, Bruce?" "Yeah, fucker, how you doing, boy?" And Bruce Jenner went, because that was his name. Bruce Jenner went, "Look at that." And the doctor went, "Oh, come on, Bruce Jenner, you know the rules." He uses his whole name every time for some reason, I don't know why. "Come on, Bruce Jenner, you fucker, you know the rules. You can't bring your big old pole vaulting pole in here, mate, you know." And Bruce Jenner went, "No, that's not my pole vaulting pole, that's my enormous penis." And I'm, "Oh, right, yeah, seeing as it is your penis, you can bring it in here, but you should have left your shot puts outside." And Bruce Jenner went, that was his name for 58 years, I think. He went, "No, they're not my shot puts, they're my enormous testicles. That's where I keep my testosterone and my spunk and shit," right? And the doctor went, "Oh, yeah, that makes perfect. I'm a medical man, and that you're a big bloke." "Off you fucker. How you doing, boy? You're a big... You're big, and you would have a big old cock and balls. They're beautiful. They're a bit familiar, isn't it?" And I go, "No, but you must be very proud of them, Bruce." Bruce Jenner went, "Oh, this is going to surprise you, doctor. I want to get rid of them." And the doctor went, "What? Why?" "Ah, they get in the way." "Get in the way of what?" "Fucking driving, for one thing."